Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with the next video in my Megadeth discography. In this video, I am going to be talking about The System Has Failed, which came out in 2004. Now, in 2002, after Megadeth's previous album, uh, Dave Mustaine had announced that he was disbanding Megadeth due to an arm injury that rendered him unable to play guitar. And honestly, at the time, it wouldn't have been a huge loss considering the last good album they had put out was, Euthanasia in '94. So would not have been a big loss. But, in April of 2004, Dave Mustaine made an announcement that he was making progress and then he may play guitar again. Needless to say, his physical therapy was obviously successful since The System Has Failed came out in September of 2004. Now, originally, Mustaine had intended to release this as a solo album, but due to contractual obligations, he had to use the Megadeth name, which honestly is fine, as this definitely fits into their discography and legacy just fine. It sounds like Megadeth, not the Dave Mustaine experience, but hell, Megadeth is mostly the Mustaine experience anyway, so maybe the name doesn't really matter. So when Mustaine restarted Megadeth, he tried to get Ellefson to rejoin, but it didn't work out because Ellefson claimed Mustaine was trying to screw him over financially, which led to their years-long legal battle and feud. So the album was recorded with session musicians. Most interestingly, Chris Poland came back for lead guitar, and he was in the band during "Killing Is My Business" and Peace Sells. So how did this album fare? Let's find out. It starts off with Blackmail the Universe. It's an excellent intro track, fast and thrashy song. After that, Died Dead Enough. It's probably the most commercial song on the album, but it's still much heavier than anything on Cryptic Writings or Risk. It still manages to be a great song. After that, you got Kick the Chair. It's an excellent fast thrash number. After that, you got The Scorpion. It's an excellent mid-paced song with a great creepy effect. After that, Tears in a Vial, an excellent song with a variety of tempos and great crunch and bottom end. After that, you got I Know Jack. It's an interesting, brief instrumental. After that, you got Back in the Day, a great fast number with somewhat goofy retro lyrics about metal back in the 80s, but despite the lyrics, it's still a great song. After that, you got Something That I'm Not. It's a great mid-paced song. After that, Truth Be Told. It's an awesome song that switches between slow and fast with great effect. After that, you got Of Mice and Men, a very good mid-paced song. After that, you got Shadow of Death. It's a heavy, brief song with Dave reading a Bible verse in a distorted voice. But, it's in the Valley of the Shadow of Death verse, which I'm sure you could have figured out that from the title, but it actually fits into a metal song very well. It's an interesting track to say the least, but it does feel a little bit out of place, but the music is excellent, so it's kind of a mixed bag. After that, the album closes out with My Kingdom. It's a solid closer, very heavy song with a great crunch. Now, all I can say about this album is holy fucking shit. Now, this is how you do a comeback. Metallica, are you listening? Now, I remember the first time I heard this back in '04. I was blown away by how vital Megadeth sounded again, and I hoped it would continue, and it did for a couple of more albums. It's funny how these reviews can look, after time. It's just, it's just amazing just to think, passage of time, how you perceive the album then versus now. And honestly, I still think this album is as awesome now as I did, back when it came out. Now this is easily Megadeth's best album since Countdown. The riffs shred on this album, the solos are awesome, and the production is stellar. It really does mix all of the best elements of Megadeth together. There are some awesome thrash songs, some great mid-paced metal, and some great melodic stuff. None of it is meandering, plotting or a failed experiment. It's a great metal album, and honestly, it just belongs in your collection. I personally give it a 90 out of 100. Next up, I will be talking about abominations. If you did like this, do me a favor, watch my next Megadeth video. I will see you guys in just a minute.